Well, the future of baseball looks bright, and I don't know about you, Jord, but I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, the decade looks very promising for baseball fans, but Jake, there's been a bunch of news that we weren't able to cover in this show, so we decided to catch the audience up in a segment that we're calling the Weekday Update.
The Vegas Golden Knights were in action this past weekend at the beautiful NHL Outdoors event at Lake Tahoe. Now, Jordan, I'm not sure if you've seen Vegas's alternate helmets, but all I know is the last time someone thought a head of gold was a good idea, it also turned out to be an ugly sight.
Speaking of the Golden Knights, their outdoor game against the Avalanche had to be delayed 9 hours because the sun was melting the ice, which resulted in the NHL receiving criticism for this oversight. Last time we had this much commotion over a GameStop, some nerds on the internet managed to get rich.
And that 9-hour delay wasn't even the hottest story to come out of this weekend's events. During the pre-game ceremonies, the NHL honored frontline workers for their bravery during the pandemic. The league and the ice surface still weren't able to handle the heat that caused the delay, unlike notable Tahoe Douglas firefighter Dusty Gooch.
This past Monday was the 1-year anniversary of the infamous David Ayers game, where the Carolina Hurricanes were forced to use an emergency goaltender that just happened to be a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who worked for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Hurricanes would end up winning that game, and I don't know about you, but I can't think of a single moment over this past year that has made me feel worse about myself.
The NBA All-Star Game is about a week and a half away, and this year it will be taking place in Atlanta at State Farm Arena. The league has decided that outside of players' families and close friends, there will be no fans permitted at the event. Honestly, if they are so worried about keeping people out of the arena, why don't they just bring back the Thrashers?
On to the CFL now, and the Toronto Argonauts have been making a splash in the free agency market, signing former NFL first-rounders Kendall Wright and Shane Ray, as well as notable collegiate player Sean Oakman. They look poised to compete in... Sorry, what's that? Seems like we have breaking news. The Argonauts are planning to sign linebacker Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State University. Castle will look to bring his defensive prowess to the team, while also trying to move past his previous substance abuse issues.
It's been 25 years since Happy Gilmore captured the gold jacket at the '96 Tour Championship. Last week, Adam Sandler hopped on social media to show off his iconic swing, letting rival Shooter McGavin know he's still got it.
And that went pretty well.
You dead, Shooter?
The PGA went as far as to honor Gilmore with a spot at this year's championship, but there's already some controversy over his unorthodox swing that even Patrick Reed thinks is against the rules.
The quarterback carousel continues in the NFL as the Indianapolis Colts acquired Carson Wentz from the Philadelphia Eagles. After lengthy negotiations, the Eagles netted less picks than it took to trade up to draft him back in 2016. The offseason musical chairs continue as we see new faces in different places. But Jake, do you know who doesn't have a quarterback right now?
Who's that?
The New England Patriots.
Well, that was a low blow. March Madness is slowly approaching, and one of the biggest questions surrounding the tournament is the status of the Duke Blue Devils. The team has earned a spot at the event every year since 1996, which happens to be the year before I was born. At that time, I was but a twinkle in my father's eye, and Jordan here had just graduated elementary school.
It's a good-looking kid. Fernando Tatis Jr. signed a massive 14-year, $340 million contract with the San Diego Padres after playing only 143 Major League games. This marks the third highest extension in MLB history, and he received it before even playing a full season. Reports indicate that Texas Rangers manager Chris Woodward is demanding an apology from Tatis for breaking the unwritten rules of contract negotiations. Oh, and by the way, did you know that Tatis used to be a prospect in the Chicago White Sox system and was traded to San Diego for James Shields? Well, if you don't know who James Shields is, let's take a look at his most memorable highlight with the Padres.
Bolin looking for his first hit of the year. He drives one, deep left field. That goes Upton, back near the wall. It's out of here! Bartolo has done it! The impossible has happened!